Okay, Zels, we've missed you. We've missed rugby. God, it was depressing last weekend. No proper rugby. I know there was a couple of games, second-tier nations, as they call them, Japan against Samoa, New Zealand D. But, wow, it's good to have rugby back. You guys brought out another fantastic magazine. Lukanya, if I look at last month's, Mani Lebok and Andre Pollard. Jeez, Polly, get better. We need you at that World Cup, mate. First of all, tell me about your touch last night at Hammy's.
Oh, fantastic,
mate. You got coach Hannah.
No, mate. Good bunch of blokes, play some great footy.
You told me
the best of the best.
Coach Hannah, you time. He was on your team.
Yeah, I ran past the guy. I got smashed in the mouth. So if I don't pronounce my S's, no, but it was all good. Great stuff.
For you, those of you who don't know, Zels is a big touch man. I'm talking about touch rugby, by the way. And if you want to see him, you'll find him there once a week at Hammy's, potentially on a Saturday morning early. Get down there early. Show them your muscles quickly.
Oh, mate, come on now.
Show them your...
Let's talk about the people you have for the Springbok. Let's go.
Come on, mate.
Let's go, mate. Hey! Who they playing this week?
Where's your enthusiasm again?
I'm very enthusiastic. I'm enthusiastic to talk about the rugby.
Come on, show us your bicep.
Come on. Put it on.
Imad had to. Imad, you're going to see his beautiful face soon. The man who does everything, puts it all together for us. He had to take...
The secret ingredient.
He had to take Zels' sleeve and drop it down a bit.
He maybe put the sleeves on.
Argentina, Los Pumas.
Los Pumas!
Against the Springboks. What do you make of that Springbok team? I just want to say, Rassie, thank you. I asked you to pick a loose trio of Eskom, Dwayne and Peter Stephen. You've done that. So, dankie chom. Ek waardeer dit baie.
Yes, I think that's exactly the back row that you requested.
I did request, and politely Jacques and Rassie have given it to me.
I think Rassie just understands you have a very good feel for where the Boks are at. If they want to win the World Cup, they should watch this show, take a few tips from you.
Well, they give me a few tips, and we know the mechanics that they play, and they put a good side out here to hammer the Pumas, get a bit more positivity back after that very, very disappointing opening 20 against the All Blacks at Mount Smart, where they were smart, they were a bit cold. But looking at the side, is it the side that you thought they would pick?
I had no idea what they were going to do, to be honest, and if that's been the objective, then they've achieved it, because it's been kind of difficult to track what they're trying to achieve with the team. The side they've selected, there are some great selections and they're exciting selections. It's going to be interesting to see how a quite inexperienced halfback pairing of Grant Williams and Mani Lebok go together. But the upside is explosive athletes, playmaker. It's a great combination.
But if you look, they've picked Dwayne at 8 to captain. Is he captain the side?
He's captain this week.
Captain the side, and they've got Damien at 12. So you've got the most experienced 12 in the country. Eligible to play for South Africa, who's been picked, and you've got the vastly experienced World Cup Grizzly veteran Dwayne Vermeulen, who is showing that he's not to be written off. He's been the standout player for me.
Agreed.
Against Australia, when he came off the bench in Auckland, I thought he was fantastic and really looks rejuvenated, and he was very good for Ulster in the United Rugby Championships. Jesse Krill gets a run. They flew him all the way to New Zealand for 10 days. He carried some tackle bags. Thank God they're giving him a run. He's gone all around the world a few times, and he's going to go to the World Cup. They've put faith in him for 4 years. You can't really change that now. No,
and all jokes aside, we need Muscle Tech to perform well this week, because we need to know who is the backup 13 behind Lukanya. What do we do if we have an injury in that position? And is the guy who steps into that role capable? So Jesse's played a lot of rugby on paper. He's got a lot of test matches under his name, behind his name. I'm not sure how many minutes he's got. And especially recently, we need Jesse to play. We need Jesse to play well this weekend.
Do we read any significance into Curtly Orance's selection 11 over Mapimpi?
Yeah, I think it's possible he's overtaken Makazole. His strike rate is ridiculous. He's in red hot form. He's looking for work. He's creating tries out of nothing. He's a lot like Cheslin in that regard, so it's possible.
Okay, so it's Willie LaRue at 15, Cheslin Colby. First time ever he's going to be playing at Ellis Park. For the Springboks, incredible that he's never played a test match there. And then Curtly Orange on the left wing. You're not a fan of that back three. A couple of weeks ago you said you'd never pick them.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I would never pick them. I just think that they are very strong in certain areas, but then they have vulnerabilities in others that I don't think there's a lot of balance there, is what I'm saying.
So you'd never pick them, but they're now being picked. What are their vulnerabilities?
So I think if you, maybe not so much against Argentina because they've got their own little backs that they like to play, but I think one question that we would like to see answered by the Springboks this weekend is how they cope with the high ball. And I'm not bringing any doubt over these guys' ability to catch a ball in the air, but I think that there are more physical options, such as Kane and Moody and obviously Makazole, who would be more physical under a high ball contest. So whether these guys are the right combination to answer that question, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Michael Checker would have watched how the Boks played and think that the backfield is a good place to target us with isolation kicks. And I'm interested to see how physically diminutive back three copes with that.
If you look at Villy having started all 3 test matches in the Rugby Championship,
Yes.
do you then see them rotating when they play Argentina in the warm-up, obviously Wales? There's talk that they're going to play their best side against the All Blacks at Twickenham before they go into the World Cup. So that would effectively give the fringe players 2 more test matches to kind of show what they're worth. Who slots in if Villy goes down? Is it Damien Willemse that goes to 15, or is it Kirkley Arendse, potentially even Kane and Moody?
Or Cheslin Colby.
Where's your thinking?
Yeah, so for me, you have to go on experience. I think Cheslin is a guy who has been playing in that position at a high level in France. He's got the most experience, I think, of the other options. And he's the guy who'd probably cast the most fear into opponents' hearts in terms of in the kicking game. I think where Cheslin doesn't get enough credit is he's got a great tactical kicking game himself. He's a guy who played 10 at high school, and he can definitely find space. He's got a very good kicking game. So I would like to see Cheslin at fullback to get more of a feel from him. And this is something that I think we should have done in the lead up to the World Cup more often. Long term, I think Kane and Moody is potentially an answer there. And then Kirkley, with his form, is obviously a guy you can look at right now, because every time he touches the ball, it's 5 points.
Do you think that that Cheslin Colby, if Villy goes down, would be the one they'd lean to, or would they look to bring Damien Willemse in at 15 where he's played? Personally, I don't believe Damien Willemse is as effective at 15 as he is at 12, and then to a lesser degree at 10. I think his long-term position, or the best position where I've seen him at the Stormers, is definitely at 12 next to Manie Lebok. He's constantly involved in the game. He has to make those split-second decisions. I always find with a player of his talent, when he's got too much time at 15, I think maybe he drifts out of the game mentally, or he wants to try to get into the game because he's not always involved. And we never see the best of Damien Willemse at 15. I really like him closer to the scrum, at 12 more than 10, but he will definitely be in that mix. If he doesn't start, he'll be in the 23. Looking at the halfback pairing, great to see them giving Manie Lebok the run at home, and Grant Williams, huge impact off the bench. He's got a wonderful game, but we spoke about it after the All Blacks. My only concern about him is that he becomes a one-trick pony. He snipes so well, but very good defenses will let him go. Let him make those 5 meters, isolate him from the chasing pack, and work the turnover. I mean, great coaches always said to very good players who can break once and make it count. And I just find he's going to have to temper that game and find some form of maturity around it in how it's when does he go or when does he pass, when does he kick. He's got such incredible athleticism, capable of playing on the wing and at scrum half, but I'm pleased they're giving him a run. No,
I agree with all your sentiments all the way back to Damien Willemse and him playing at 12 or 10. Grant Williams, absolutely. I think opposing teams would be taking a huge gamble to let that guy run into space with the idea to isolate him, because he is rapid and he can really burn you with speed. But point taken. I think Grant Williams' speed to the breakdown and from the breakdown and in support play is also going to be valuable in kick receipt, kick return. I think he's going to have some value to add there. So I'm very keen to see how he goes. It all comes down to how well he kicks and can he execute the box kicking game to the same level of efficiency as Faf.
A good performance here, does that get him to the World Cup?
I think he's already on the home straight to the World Cup, to be honest.
So three scrum halves go.
Yeah, I think
who are your 3?
I think you have to look at Grant Williams. Obviously, Faf is the number 1. And for me, if I have to choose between Kobus Reinach and Jaden Hendrickse, assuming Jaden gets back to full speed, I would go with Jaden. His kicking game is superb.
But don't you think they'll go with Kobus? Because he went to the last World Cup, he plays all his domestic rugby in France. That battle is quite interesting.
Very.
Which third scrum off goes.
Very.
But the inside running this weekend, obviously, for Jaden Hendrickse, and our condolences also to the Hendrickse family of the loss of their dad. So a hugely heartfelt social media posts from brother to brother about dad. And also, while we're talking test match rugby, but for me, the Sharks, you got it right, guys. For once, you got it right.
Huge.
Taking Jordan Hendricks back to his home city. That's a great signing at 10.
Great signing.
I've been knocking you guys for the best part of 2 seasons, Ed, Marco Mazzotti, for not having a quality 10. I think this guy is really good. I know the boys who picked the national team, he went. He's not considered in their top 5. We've been telling Dobber for years, get him, or 2 years, get him back to Cape, get him to Cape Town. Get him to Cape Town, get him into the Stormers mix, but a really, really good acquisition. I think his reggae will go from strength to strength there.
Yes, I hope he doesn't end up at fullback in Durban.
I think they'll know that they can play him at 10,
Yeah.
and Kerwin Bosch to fullback.
Correct.
All
Great
right.
move.
Talking about fullbacks in Durban, the guy who's really fallen off the radar, Fussy, yeah?
Sure.
No one talks about him at the moment.
Oh, what a player. What a player.
What do you think? What happened there?
I've heard all sorts of stories about that. I don't know. I think the Oak is an incredible talent. I think he needs to probably be mentored a little bit.
I think he needs to get out of Durban,
I mean, that's not a bad call.
down to Cape Town.
Kimberley, mate. Griquas.
Huh?
Cape Town's not a bad call at all. Although, the lights are pretty bright yet.
The lights are bright here, but I would like to see him on the win. I mean, I think a guy like Dobber will just get the best out of him. Imagine him and Achieva hanging out together. Be great.
Glorious.
Huh? Dobber, if you are watching, somewhere in the world where you are, Fussy, think about him. I know he's signed for the Sharks, but a contract can also be meaningless in the modern era.
True.
Frans Malherbe, definitely the number 1 in South Africa. They just go to him. He's the go-to guy all the time.
Mate,
Paul Boys, I honoured him. And unfortunately, they honoured him on the day that they took a home defeat. First time in 10 years they've lost to Worland Lampo. So great win there for the boys from the Plus, from the farm, to go to Boys High and to win as well. But France, just the value that guy has brought to South Africa, he should be the highest paid player in South Africa. And it's so comforting to see they finally found Trevor Nyakani. He's in the match 23. We thought he was missing in action. No one knew where he was. We didn't. They obviously had him in the gym, rehabbing him, getting him strong and getting him ready. Oh, that guy's got so much talent. I just want to see him play 60 minutes.
I think he wants to know, where does he play? Is he loose-head? Is he tight-head? When does he start? I mean, we know what we've got in Kitsy. We know what we've got in Malhabs. At some point, we've got to make a decision to start some of these other guys and see what they've got. And can they go for 45, 50 minutes in the starting lineup? But whatever. These guys have got a plan. We know they've got a plan.
This is a good 15 that's starting. Marvin Ori is in with Evan Ergia coming off the bench again. Vincent Koch, American dad / Captain Fantastic. He's there.
You know what I'm surprised about? I would have started Franco Mostert at 5 this week.
Thanks for that, Zels. You got co-tended. Are you sure you're not concussed?
Where are we?
Hey? Got co-tended at...
Franco Mostert
How's
at
your
5.
mum?
Him and Ian.
How's your mum?
How's your mum doing?
How's Mac Phelps doing? How's that daughter of
Everybody's
yours
good.
in the pool?
No, Franco Mostert. He's the guy
How's
who
the
started at
missus?
5
Good?
against France and the end of your tour last year.
Show us your muscles.
I would have given him a go. Give him a run, mate.
All right, Franco Mostert, there you got it. You're from your number
Nice.
1 cheerleader. Zels wants you in that box setup, whether you're starting or you're on the bench. He'll be there come the World Cup. He'll be in that 23. You know the engine he's got
Underrated,
on
mate.
it.
Underrated.
Damien in the match 23, surprised there. I just don't know if he's 100% fit with that knee.
But see, so I think with him and Lucanio, I think maybe that's the reason they're in that match day 23, is to get them up to speed.
Okay. Both of them coming back from knee injuries, and you don't come back easily from knee injuries. It's a nice 23. They've all had game time, so they're not going to be caught cold. The Pumas, historically, they've played 13 times in South Africa. They've won 1 in 2015, 37-25 in Durban. It took Hanneke Meyer's World Cup plans and just put them in absolute disarray. They then took another team down to Buenos Aires for the return match. They had to win it, and then they ended up losing to Japan in the pool game. And they finally then got it back. Dramatic defeat, or dramatic win against Wales in the quarterfinal. That great try. The break off the back from Dwayne Vermeulen, the offload to Farida Pre, try! And then 2018 in the semi-final against New Zealand. But then they came back and won the 3rd and 4th playoff against Argentina. We know how to beat Argentina. We've beaten them a lot. They really do consider us the big brother. We've been so integral to the development of Argentinian rugby, and they are one of the great success stories of professionalism. However, they are one of the biggest losers of us being pulled out of Super Rugby, because the Jaguares are no more, and most of their players are spread across the world, and that has shown to hinder their performance.
Definitely.
I thought they were fantastic in getting the win after being demolished by the All Blacks, to get on a plane and then to fly to Australia and win. Fantastic effort. But they don't travel particularly well to South Africa.
No, especially not the Highveld.
Yeah, so they've won 1 out of 13. That was in Durban. Their average score is 36-18. They've taken 2 big ones at the FNB, 73-3, and at Joburg at Ellis Park, 63-8. But under the Rasmus Jock Nienhaber era, the average score is 32-18. What's it going to be?
South Africa 40, Argentina 18.
Okay, we're going to discuss that later in the week because Zels will probably change his mind.
No, mate. 40-18, 22 points, mate.
You're already putting the score in there. What's the point of the next show?
What next show?
The Money Man will be joining us later in the week. But in the interim, go to predictsports.com. It's his site. Plenty giveaways over the next 2 months from our wonderful friends at Salute City and at Century City Hotels. And you can win subscriptions to Car Magazine, SA Rugby Magazine, Cape Town, etc. Because we are Cape Town based. Oh, what a beautiful cover. Well done to the team that put that one together. Lucanio Am, just explain to me your choice of him as cover, as editor of SA Rugby Magazine.
Well, I mean, I think Lucanio Am is the best outside centre in the world. Doesn't get enough credit for the value that he adds to the box. I think his touches probably got a little bit unrecognised. And we talk about Willie Leroux being a try-assist guy. Lucanio Am's at the heart of a lot of what South Africa gets right. So he's a fantastic player, massively versatile, and a centre sensation.
Are you saying that he's currently, in your mind, the best outside centre in the world?
Yes. I would pick him ahead of Rico Ioane every day of the week. Love this guy. Great player.
Are you saying that he's the best outside centre South Africa's ever produced in the professional era?
Mate, I mean, it's him and Jacques Fourie. So.
Who do you take? Come on, put it on the line. Give me an answer.
I'm going to go with recency bias and say Lucanio. I think Lucanio's got leadership value, and I think Lucanio could be a Springbok captain. So I'm going to go with Lucanio.
So Zal, now editor of SA Rugby Magazine, has picked Lucanio Am ahead of Jacques Fourie. The people at Monument High are going ballistic at the moment. I wouldn't suggest you go there and
my
do
mate
like
Martin van Skalkwyk.
Yeah, they are going ballistic. Yeah, and it's weird though. Out of sight, out of mind. People forget very quickly.
He was fantastic.
You know that brilliant 2007 World Cup squad, the '95 Warriors that won the World Cup. People just seem to think 2019. I would love to have seen Yapi Mulder, Peter Miller up against the boys of today because, my God, they were tough and they were an underrated pair.
That is true.
I've always been a firm believer of not comparing eras and actually just enjoying what we have in front of us. I do really rate this Oak. He is a very good rugby player. I know Laurie Mains didn't think much of him, but he is a very good rugby player and he just gets it and he understands the nuances of the game. And I think there's so much he does off the ball that the TV camera doesn't follow as well. And the box are decidedly different when he's not at 13. And we'll see that again. The insurance policy is that he is at 13 and Jesse can always shift to the win. Worst case scenario, even at 15 where he started his career. Are you comfortable with what they've selected that goes out to Argentina?
It's a lovely team, man, and I think we're gonna put some points on these guys and bounce back in a big way. It's a fantastic lineup.
All right, well done, Rassi, well done, Jacques. It's always great in the week because we've always got the box to win well. Keep on following the news on SA Rugby Magazine. There'll be an odd thing from Keo on the Keo blog, and then we will be with Money Man later in the week where we look at the All Blacks against the Wallabies. And that's going to be in Melbourne. Eddie Jones says they'll win that one. And if they do, they'll do us a big favour. If we clock the RGs big, then we could still get the Rugby Championship. Thanks for watching. We're 5.3 million views now. Thanks, Imad, for everything you do. You make it look special. And keep on tuning in. There's a time that Zels and I look and think, I wonder why people watch, but you do, and we greatly appreciate it.